Hi, superstars! So, today we're going to start chapter 9 joints, and we are ready for this. We have already described bones as organs, and we described certain landmarks in these bones that were the landmarks that we care about just to build these joints, to put the skeleton together. And once we put the skeleton together, we're going to add another layer, which are the muscles that are going to move the skeleton. So, you are ready for this. ta Yes, if this work. So joints or the prefix that you're going to see associated with um, during this chapter with joints is arthro. And arthro means, again, I don't remember if it's Latin or Greek, but it means joints. And I want you also to remember that we can use joints and articulations or synonyms. Uh, it just mean the same. You can use either word. Uh, what are the functions of joints? But first of all, what are joints? So when you put two bones or more together, you are creating a joint or an articulation. That's what it is. What are they for? Well, in here, and this is taken from your book, yes, enables resistance to crushing. Uh, these bones or these joints have a specific structure that avoid the damage of the bones when we apply a compressing or a weight, a compressing force or a weight on these bones, and also avoid steering and other forces. Okay, but the main function that I want you to remember is that they are responsible for the movement uh, of your skeleton and for the stability of the joints. So, and of the skeleton in general. We're going to put these bones together, and it's exactly at the joints, the several components that are forming the joint are the ones that are going to give the stability to the skeleton to keep it the way we know it as it exists, and it also is the one responsible for movement. So yes, it's at the joint where movement occurs. And think about it. What are bones? Bones are rigid structures. We cannot bend, we cannot move. But when we put two or more bones together and we form a joint, like for example in your elbow, we're putting together the humerus, the radius, and the ulna at the joint, at the elbow, is right in here at the elbow, at the joint, what movement is happening. It's not happening at the bones, of course. And so this is the place where the movement happened, and the layer that we're going to add in the next chapter, the muscles, act at these joints. So we need to figure a way to put a muscle, and the muscle, of course, need to span a joint, because if we just put a muscle or attach a muscle from the proximal to the distal aspect of, let's say, the ulna, when it shortens, it won't create any movement, right? So the muscles need to span, need to cross the joint from one bone to another bone. So when this muscle contracts, let's imagine that I'm describing the biceps, is going to cross the elbow joint and is going to attach to the radius. So when it contracts, it can bring the forearm closer to your arm. That's the whole idea of joint, and how this is the relation, or the how can we see this in context, relating the knowledge of the bone that you have already and the one that we're going to acquire in the next chapter in muscles. So are you ready? Let's do this. Let's explain the joints Let's describe it, how they are classified, the structure, and we're going to use few examples of joints or complex joints on the body so we can describe all the components of joints. And of course, we're going to describe the movements for you. So see you in the next video. Let's classify the joints.